right, let's cue those honking horns this morning. ARC Seattle's on the road. We're bringing the conversation to you.
Tyrah is out in a local neighborhood talking with the community today. So, Tyrah, where are you?
Okay, the big reveal. We are in one of Seattle's unique floating home communities. We're in the Eastlake neighborhood. Take a look at where we are on Lake Union. We've got an early morning swimmer out here. It's just a beautiful, beautiful morning. And one of my my first time on a floating home. So unique and such a rich part of Seattle's history. So we are here ahead of the big public tour that's happening on September 7th. I'm here with Melissa Allers with the Seattle Floating Homes Association. Thanks for having us today.
Thank you for coming down today.
Absolutely. So you actually live on a floating home. What's that like for you?
I've lived down here for 25 years, and it's really been amazing. I feel like when we moved down here, we were thinking we just wanted to be downtown Seattle, waterfront, whatever. But when we moved down, we thought we'd live here for a couple of years, move off. But we've actually been here for now 25 years, wow. And raised a family here, and it's really due to the community. And we've stuck around.
And I want to talk about the community. We're going to hear more about what it's like to live in one of these homes later in the morning. But first off, I just want to talk to you about the history. I mean, how was this community first developed and how has it evolved over time?
Well, we have a very rich history, starting at when the loggers were logging Lake Washington and Lake Union. They would take the logs and build a platform and then build a little ramshackle house on top of it, and then they would move around the lake. And then we also started with a show because the Alaska Yukon Exposition that happened in 1909, the city had to pay for it somehow, and so they platted the lake, and therefore they created tax parcels. And then in the 20s and 30s, a lot of floating homes came to be in this area. By the 1950s, I think, actually there were about 2,000 at that time. By the 1950s, I think we were declared a cesspool. But that was also when Gasworks Park was still in work. So, let's discuss how much cesspool was really us. That being said, there was a big push to clean up the lake, and we connected to city sewer. And a lot of the floating homes were evicted at that time. We organized, connected, connected not only to the sewers, but we also connected amongst the people who live down here. And we're now very much the stewards of the lake and in keeping everything clean and as environmentally friendly as possible.
I was going to ask about that. So you're on the board of the Seattle Floating Homes Association, and you all are in charge of that upkeep, that maintenance. I mean, what's that like, and why is that important to make sure that this community is sustained and stays, like you said, environmentally friendly, all of that?
Well, I feel like we live on Seattle's Central Park, and we obviously swim in the lake. We are, we're out here with our nets, keeping things clean, working with groups like the Puget Sound Keepers Alliance to really, for the Lake Union sweep, and it's, keeping things as clean as possible down here.
So on September 7th, we've got the big public tour, Seattle Floating Homes Tour. It's a self-guided tour. Tickets are available now. We're going to be talking about that throughout the morning as well. The theme is anchored in history. Why did you all go with that theme?
Because we are connected to Seattle's history overall, and we are anchored in this. We're anchored to our docks and anchored to the history of Seattle overall. And so we wanted to be able to share all the different types of floating homes. We have everything from the small little floating homes to a lovely large, what I would consider a glass art object.
Oh, wow.
That opens up entirely. It's pretty amazing. We have a little floating fisherman's cabin to really large and beautiful front row floating homes as well.
So many different options.
So many options down here.
And what a great opportunity for the rest of the city to come out and tour these homes. So in our next segment, you're actually going to meet the owner of this home. She's lovely, and this is a beautiful one that we're standing on right now. So I can't wait for you all to meet her, and also to just listen to the sounds out here. It's so serene. I mean, the birds, the marine life, and then you really really just hear the water underneath you. It's kind of trippy if you want to be honest about it. Have either of you ever been on a floating home, Steve or Kelly? Like, I can't believe we're like floating right now.
Yeah,
you don't feel it though.
I haven't. I mean, you always see them if you're out on Lake Union or anything like that, or even driving across 520. And I've always thought they were so unique. What I love mostly is that the community there, if you have a neighbor who also lives, you know, in the same situation, you're going to have an automatic, really strong bond, maybe more so than like a traditional home. So it's cool. Thanks, Tyra.
All right.
I can tell.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you soon. To learn more about the Seattle Floating Homes Tour and grab your tickets, made it easy for you. Scan that QR code that's popping up in the corner of your screen. That link that pops up will take you directly to our website, komonews.com/hotlinks. From there, you're going to find a link to their website.
We will check back in with Tyra during our next half hour.
Those fascinate me. I don't know about you, but every time I'm on Lake Union paddleboarding or something like that, I'll kind of like go around and be like, I want to move into that one. I want to move into that one.
Yeah.
Ooh, no, I like that one better.
They're all so unique.
Yeah.
That's what I like about them. There's no cookie cutter or anything. They're all very special.
All different. Yep. All right, did you hear that? Beep, 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 beep. Arc Seattle on the road this morning. We're bringing the conversation to you.
Tyra's out at Seattle's Floating Homes Tour in the Eastlake neighborhood. Tyra, what do you have in store for us today?
Well, as you mentioned, we are here on one of Seattle's many floating homes, and this home is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to step out of the way and just show you the view. Should I go this way? I'll go this way. Take a look at that view. You've got the Seattle skyline. You've got the Space Needle. We're right on Lake Union, and this home is over 100 years old. I'm here with the homeowner, Laurel Duty. Thank you so much for having us today.
You're welcome.
This is
welcome.
This is what you get to wake up to every day?
Every day, and every night.
And every night. It's so special. And so you were just telling me you moved to Seattle from New York City, a complete, 360 wanting to live on a floating home. Why was that?
Well, we moved to New York. We moved from New York and we moved into a home.
Okay.
And I picked up my daughter at a play date one day on a floating home. And I was like, what is this? And it reminded me of co-op living in New York. And so we started our quest to look, and it took us 7 years to find a houseboat. This is the houseboat we found, and we moved in with our kids. And I never look back. We've been here almost 30 years.
Wow.
And it is as special today as it was when we moved in. It's just a really, really lovely place to live, community-wise. Yep.
You mentioned a co-op space and community. What is that like, that stewardship? You have your neighbors here. I'm sure you all know each other. Talk about that dynamic.
We depend on each other, and we also understand each other's space. And same thing if you live in a big building in New York, you're there for each other, but you need to have your privacy. Right. And so we live on a small dock. It's seven floating homes. It's a co-op. And if it snows, we're all out shoveling each other's roof off. And if someone's going to be away, we'll water each other's garden. We have a co-op garden in the grass back here. And I like that kind of living. I like sharing space and taking care of neighbors, watching out for neighbors. It's really important to me.
It is important. And take a look at this GoPro shot just so you can all see another vantage point from Laurel's home. We talked about this, the Floating Homes Tour coming up in a couple weeks. Your home is actually going to be one of the featured homes that the public can come in and take a look at. Why did you decide? Why did you agree to that? Which is really cool.
Because of my good friend, Melissa. No, also
because you take part of all of my shenanigans.
Right.
So
Right.
hey, I'm working on the tour again this year. This is not her first time, actually. I feel like I literally was just walking down the street and I had said, okay, I'll do the tour this year, and I popped and walked by Laurel. I'm like, hey, Laurel, want to be on the tour? Absolutely, that would be great. We're good.
It's neat to welcome people into your home and to show them the perks, right?
Yes.
Right. It's also because the theme this year is history, and this house has a lot of history. It at one point was a speakeasy, and it's over 100 years old. A lot of the floating homes in this area are older homes.
Yes.
And I think that it fits into the theme of this year's tour.
It absolutely fits into this theme because the logs that we are standing on today are the same logs that I had mentioned earlier when they were running around Lake Washington. These are old 100-year-old cedar logs that this house has been built over, remodeled, built, changed over time, but yet it has evolved into a gorgeous home with a lot of modern convenionces.
And so before we let you go really quick, talk about what people can expect for the tour. What is that going to be set up like?
On the tour day, it's from 12 until 5. We're selling tickets for, we're doing half of them will be from 12 until 2:30. The other half will be 2:30 to 5, just to keep lines down. There'll be 10 floating homes on the market, excuse me. On the tour. Real estate agent, I can't. On the tour. These are not for sale, but they're just, it gives people an opportunity to open their doors and to share their lives with the community and to share their homes. There are a lot of different ones from, the concrete floating homes with the, that are a little bit larger, that might be 2,000 square feet or so, to one, I think our smallest one might be about 497 square feet. So it shows the breadth of everything down here.
Wide variety. And those tickets are available at seattlefloatinghomes.org, correct? Okay. And so I asked, this is really funny, Stephen Kelly, I asked Laurel, what are the challenges of being a floating home owner? And she's like, there are no challenges aside from maybe lugging your groceries in. But right, how can there be challenges when you live in a place like this?
It's just a lovely place, and we feel very fortunate to be here. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I would say the reason most of us say yes to being on the tour is to support the community and the Floating Homes Foundation.
Yeah, the Floating Homes Association has been very instrumental in our history.
Yep.
Thank you both for sharing all that information and once again for welcoming us into your home. There's a lot to see out here. I'm excited to explore some of the rest of the area as well. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Oh my gosh, so lovely to live in one of those homes. I want to move in.
Yeah, Steve's already saying that he's eyeing some of those places. Thanks, Tyrah. Tyrah's out at Seattle's Floating Homes Tour in the Eastlake neighborhood. Tyrah, what do you have in store for us?
Yes, we're going to talk all about the Floating Homes Tour. That happens on September 7th. But, floating homes just have such a unique and rich history in Seattle. You think about it being featured in Hollywood films like Sleepless in Seattle, for instance. This is one of my first times. I keep saying it's one of my first times. This is my first time on a floating home. I've seen them from the boats, but standing here is so different and unique. Lee, thank you so much for being here today.
Sure, it's wonderful to be here. I love it here.
Yeah, and you're with the Floating Homes Association as well. First off, talk a little bit about that history for the people who are just now tuning into ARC Seattle and what makes them so unique to Seattle.
They really are unique. There's only a few places in the country that have a floating home community like this. And for me, I live on a floating home. Melissa, we have 3 women here who are all on different floating homes. And I think all of us agree that the community is really, really special. We all band together. The first week I was on a floating home, I had a little sewage issue, and all of a sudden I opened the door and there were 3 neighbors all working on fixing it for me, and I hadn't even called anybody. It's a very close-knit, wonderful, wonderful community. And then, look, just the action that we're seeing out here. You've got, geese going by, rowers going by, people going by, float planes taking off. It's a very active and lovely place. You both said it yourselves. It's like coming home on vacation.
Right. Yeah. It feels like a vacation home. So we've got this tour coming up. First time it's been back here since pre-pandemic. Very special. What can people expect if they buy a ticket and they want to come check out the Floating Home Tour?
Well, I'm going to let Melissa talk about that, but also there's 10 amazing homes on the tour. Go ahead.
You're going to get a very unique look at 10 floating homes along Eastlake, or along Fairview in the Eastlake neighborhood. There's everything from a beautiful glass enclosure that is actually really wide open to a fisherman's cottage to some really lovely historic floating homes overall.
Very unique opportunity to come and see these homes for yourself. We spoke to Laurel, the homeowner of this home, in our last hour. She mentioned her home's a little over 100 years old. I mean, think about how much history just rooted in there. Now, Lee, you actually corrected me on something a few days ago via email. I called these houseboats, and you were like, these are floating homes. So for those who don't know, I mean, there are only a few communities around the country who have floating homes, like you said. What are the differences? Houseboat, floating home.
Well, I mean, your camera may have already noted, but these are attached to very large old growth logs or large cement floats, and they don't go anywhere. So these are literally homes that float. A houseboat, you can grab the lines and oftentimes take off across the lake. So they're very much stationary, even though they're floating. That's the big difference.
Stationary. And for some reason, driving here, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to feel the swaying, or I'm going to feel like I'm floating. I don't feel anything. It feels like we're on the street.
Well, the magic is you actually can, and with these beautiful older homes like this one, you can hear the water lapping on the logs underneath the home, and it's a very special, calming sound, and it's amazing. Actually, it's just amazing.
It is calming. It's nice to hear the sound of the water. It's nice to hear the seaplanes and see the rowers going by and the early morning swimmers. So the tour is on September 7th. We're going to put the information on your screen. Tickets are available now. And anything else people should know ahead of going to the tour?
Well, it's going to sell out.
It should sell out. This is the first time that we have been back since 2018, pre-pandemic, and we'll probably have a few buskers along Fairview. We'll have a food cart. So just come ready to enjoy our community and enjoy just being in the lake environment. Overall.
Super special. And how many times have people come by and go, wow, I'd love to be like you, love to be able to see a floating home. Well, this is the chance. So grab your ticket before they're sold out.
This is the chance. You hear that, Stephen Kelly? You have not been on a floating home yet. Stop by the tour and you can check out 10 different homes.
What do you think, Tyrah? Would you move into
opportunity.
one of these things?
I think I would. They're asking if I would move into one of them. I think I would. It feels like a vacation every day. I mean, wouldn't you say so?
Absolutely. Come on in.
I already told Laurel I want to be invited to your next party. I might just start moving my bags in now. Yeah, I think I would. I don't see why not.
You show up to the Christmas party with a couple of totes in hand, a couple roller bags.
Hey, guys.
Right. And imagine the 4th of July when you have the fireworks there just right off that barge. You don't have to go to Gasworks Park.
Yeah.
You can beat the crowds and just watch from your living room.
No, I think it's great. I think it's such a cool way to feel close to Mother Nature while you're in the middle of a city. It's just being on the water, feeling the movement of the water. It's awesome. Thank you, Tyrah.
Exactly. Close to Mother Nature. Thank you.
That's right. All right, to learn more about the Seattle Floating Homes Tour and grab your tickets, made it easy for you. Go ahead and scan that QR code that's popping up in the corner of your screen. The link that pops up will take you directly to KOMOnews.com/hotlinks. From there, you're going to find a link to their website. What I loved about the beginning of her interview, you could actually hear one of those seaplanes take off.
So cool.
Yeah, very cool.